Did you know J.K. Rowling was literally broke before the fantasy thriller Harry Potter? She would be a classic epitome of turning from rags to riches overnight. Rowling, as you probably already know, is best known for the Harry Potter book series, which has sold more than 500 million copies to date. 500 million copies! She has officially written the best-selling book series in history. An incredible accomplishment. Most writers would be ecstatic reaching 10,000 books sold for one of their novels. Though once you know more about Rowling's personal story, it seems hard to believe that a woman once down on her luck and with little hope could become one of the most successful authors in history. A new idea. It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling didn't have a top-notch Oxford educational background. In fact, she was a good student, but she didn't have a clear path for her life upon graduation from university. At age 25, in the summer of 1990, Rowling was hunting for apartments in Manchester, England with her then-boyfriend. She was still living in London at the time and working as a bilingual secretary. After the weekend spent trying to find a place to live, she then traveled back to London. During a delayed train trip, a dynamic, life-changing idea came to her. Suddenly, like magic, the idea for Harry Potter came fully formed into her mind. All of a sudden, the idea for Harry just appeared in my mind's eye. I can't tell you why or what triggered it, but I saw the idea of Harry and the wizard school very plainly. I suddenly had this basic idea of a boy who didn't know who he was, who didn't know he was a wizard until he got his invitation to wizard school. I have never been so excited by an idea. J.K. Rowling. Not long after the incredible idea for Harry Potter appeared in her mind, Rowling's mother died. Her death would have an enormous impact on the formation of her goals. Rowling knew that she needed to press on with her idea, to give it life and let it transform her world. Rowling ended her relationship and later moved to Porto, Portugal to teach English. It was there that she would meet her future husband and have a child, though her marriage would only last 13 months. Rowling lived with tremendous stress, often questioning herself. She endured terrible physical and emotional abuse. Her move to Southern Europe ended in misery. Starting over. Rowling later relocated to Edinburgh, Scotland, hoping to begin anew and raise her young daughter. By this time, she was a single mother living off state benefits in the United Kingdom, equivalent to welfare here in the United States. She pinched pennies, buying only cheap food and clothes for herself and her daughter. She viewed herself as a failure. Both personally and professionally, it was a bitter fall for a woman who had high expectations of herself. She knew she loved to write and certainly had a talent for writing, but she was struggling with some internal demons. How dire did her situation get? She was clinically diagnosed with depression and even thought about taking the gravest action possible, committing suicide. Rowling wrote Dementors to represent that depression she felt. Dementors are among the foulest creatures that walk this earth. They infest the darkest, filthiest places, they glory in decay and despair, they drain peace, hope, and happiness out of the air around them. Get too near a Dementor and every good feeling, every happy memory will be sucked out of you. If it can, the Dementor will feed on you long enough to reduce you to something like itself. Soulless and evil. Yet incredibly, her drastic circumstances led her to write more and more. During this time, Rowling continued to believe in her idea and her ability to turn it into something special. Over the next few years, she penned the first Harry Potter story, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Though success did not come right away, Rowling's manuscript was rejected by several literary agents. It was finally accepted by Christopher Little Literary Agents. The agency then sent out her manuscript to 12 different publishers. All of them rejected the manuscript. Finally, the publisher Bloomsbury agreed to accept Rowling's manuscript. After 18 months and tons of rejection, Rowling's persistence and resolve won the day. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone was published in June of 1997. arriving at success. Rowling's inspiration came from the writing of J.R.R. Tolkien, in particular The Lord of the Rings, as well as Jane Austen, whose novel Emma had a seminal influence on her life. Rowling is still writing the most important story of all, her own. For all of her remarkable accomplishments, she's only 50 years old, with a beautiful horizon ahead of her. Maybe there's another enchanted book series inside of her creative mind. If there's one lesson we can all learn from her, it is that you should never give up on your dream and work relentlessly to turn it into reality. May we ask you, what events in your life are causing you to feel down or unmotivated right now? Can you take a moment to visualize that these events that probably feel like setbacks or stuckness become your greatest motivator for moving forward? If visualizing this is hard for you, remember then that all things pass. And as J.K. Rowling teaches us, from great struggle, truly great success can be born. There are endless possibilities to be created in this world. We do not need magic to transform our world. We carry all the power we need inside ourselves already. We have the power to imagine better. J.K. Rowling.